Check, check. There we go. Hi guys, welcome on. Tiffany here of Tiffany Cosplay, and if you are new, I'd love to have you as part of our cosplay building community. So press the like button on the video as well as subscribe to the channel. It is free here on YouTube. I'm gonna be distracted today because it's starting to snow outside, and it's still a weird concept for me, very much so. So yeah. But no, aloha. But yeah, hi Cliff, hi Wizard. Yes. I swear Foot had said something, but I don't see it now. Oh well. Oh, thanks Wizard for checking the new link. If you missed it, last week on Thursday, I did a new video, a studio tour of my place. So you can do !studio, and you can see that video. Hello to you in the Dominican Republic as well. Yes. So yeah, but it's a full in-depth tour of the studio, so you can see this main working area. I go through all of my tools, my workbench that's back there, my sewing machine, as well as the other two rooms that I work in, but not on stream, so my spray booth room, as well as the storage, photography, printer room. So yes, check out that video. Today, we're going to be working on a commission again, the Joker Queen axe, and I've got it here. Wooja. So yeah, I'm trying out a different process than what I normally do. So for this concept, I did a base of pink insulation foam, wrapped the whole thing in Worbla, and I've done this many times, but I wanted to try getting a cleaner surface, and typically with Worbla, you cover it in coats of wood glue, and that kind of helps with getting it a little bit easier, like smoother surface. But I've never liked that process. You can also plasti dip Worbla, but that doesn't really smooth the surface. It just makes an even, consistent look to everything. So for this, I went on the same type of process that I do for 3D printing, doing cleanup of the stair stepping. And the whole thing is covered in sandable spray paint and has been sanded already twice, and this is the third coat and will most likely be the last coat, so we'll be doing a lot of sanding on this today and some other stuff. So yeah. Hi Honeyfro Cosplay! Yee. Welcome on! Also, you were my very first person I thought of for doing the share, so that was, you were my person that I was shouting out, by the way, so yes. But yeah, thank you guys for watching today. Hope you had a wonderful weekend, and sorry we didn't stream yesterday. I just was so Prince messed up, and I was also still a little bit tired from partying too much this weekend, so just a little bit, yeah. I will show you, last stream we worked on the knife for Joker Queen. This one was also commissioned, so it is finally finished, all EVA foam, and I'll be working on the tutorial for that for y'all, so it'll come to YouTube soon. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with what it came out to. I'll show y'all from that screen. Yeah, not bad. I guess I can leave it on there. I'm gonna put it over here so it's out of the way. I'm definitely in comfy attire today. Yeah, no worries. Other things, so here's the two pieces, and I really don't care if there's tons of extra, like I sprayed too much. The purpose of sandable primer, it's the Rust-Oleum Auto Filler Sandable Primer, whatever, and that is, you're gonna sand it. So I purposely heavily coat it. I'd rather it be dripping so I have more on the surface, because I'm just gonna wet sand it and it's all gonna go away. So, but yeah, that's the pieces so far. I'm pretty happy with it. I'd say these parts right here, they're okay. I definitely would do a different approach if I was to make this again. But the other pieces are this one, which is actually the spike on the bottom, and then the top part. And these are the only 3D printed parts for this, just because I really hate making spikes. spikes out of foam are just stupid and they're difficult to make. So yeah, but they're all nice. I do wish, so this is a line that I put in here, and there's one here, and I do wish I had made those deeper as well as wider, so that way it would show more, but yeah. There'll be a little bit of cleanup. They go. Oh, and I made these. So these are these parts. But these will end up fitting in here, like so. Yeah. So all of the parts that we have made so far for this axe. Get my little blueprint out. Spray paint fillers. Oh yeah. No, all good. All good. Yeah, I use this same method, so I'll be doing the sandable primer on the 3D printed parts as well, and it just cleans it up so much better. So, but let's see. Here's the top of the axe, and then this goes here. This piece will go over here, and then this part. So it is going to disassemble into 2 pieces for transportation. Where is my other piece? Where did I put it? Oh, it's already in the piece. Derp, 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 derp. Because I have to ship this. So the bottom part here, basically the stick part, is all going to come apart, and then the axe head is all going to be one. So I already put the threaded system on the inside, and then you just screw it together, and then I'll have it where the exposed thread shows, so it kind of looks like it's intentional, like it's supposed to be there, because it is. So that'll be there. I do have to make a, it's going to basically be wrapped with like 6mm EVA foam, so it'll fill this gap. This will be attached on the inside in here. So it'll be like that. Then this piece will again go into here, right there. He's a little wobbly. We'll see. And I had to do that. And then this one goes here. And then for the top part, this one will go in here, like that. And then for all of this, we have EVA foam parts, which I've already sanded. So we're gonna be doing a lot of extra sandy stuff, but that'll go there. So yeah, you can kind of see what's happening a little bit. All right. But we're first going to start off with sanding today. The lovely, lovely sanding. Did I get hit by the same massive storm? Snowstorm? It is just starting to snow right now. Like, it started the last hour, and we're predicted to get 5 to 9 inches today, supposedly. So we'll see. I'm excited because so far I've only seen 2 inches of snow here, and obviously being from Texas, it's a very different and new experience for me. And they canceled all the schools, and most places are starting to close. So I assume this is a big deal, but I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, we're gonna move that to the side, and we're gonna start with you. So yeah. You're making a stormtrooper armor. Anyone have any tips to start? It just depends on what you're comfortable with working in. If you'd want to do 3D printing or EVA foam, 3D printing is going to be heavier, and you will either have to CAD the stuff yourself, so 3D model it, or find somebody that has already made it and then print it. So it depends on if you have access to a printer or not. For me, I like to work in EVA foam. I can 3D print as much as I want, but I just like EVA foam more. It's easier for me to control. It's also a lot lighter weight, especially if you're going to fly to places. So it's just your own personal preference on which one you would like to work with. Yeah. Expected to get 12 to 15 inches of snow. Oh my. And cheers guys, thanks for watching. Alright, time to get messy. So, we're going to be doing a lot of wet sanding. And that's basically where you sand with wet sandpaper. And it helps get everything nice and even. It also helps to keep the dust controlled. So if you weren't wet sanding, there's going to be more likely more dust in the air. Wet sanding, it's going to like stay in the water more, and you just get better results. I use mixing sticks, so paint mixing sticks, and then I typically will write the grit that I have on here. This is not 100 grit. This is 220. What did I do on this one? I don't know. But I'll normally write what grit it is. It is not this one though. And then you just do masking tape underneath here. You want it with the sticky side facing out, and I'll show you once I put it all on. And then you replace it and then wrap it at the bottom. Very easy. I have these all the time. I use this also for 3D printing for cleanup, besides using a sanding drum. So, okay. Boop, boop, boop. I don't know if this one. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't done a live stream through TikTok since, I don't know, it's been a very long time, so I'm trying to remember how this whole thing works. I know with Instagram how it basically does, but if you want to talk or ask questions, leave these platforms and go to YouTube, because that's actually where I'm streaming. So, hi David, welcome on, how are you? I'm doing well, thanks. Okay, so we're going to change this one out, and I've got a trash can underneath me. But yeah, I still haven't, I originally said I wanted to do my live streamings on Tuesdays, but obviously military stuff and Air Force stuff will cause things to change, so it may end up switching to Wednesday. I'm not 100% sure now. So yeah, and I might move it up to being a little bit earlier than 1 p.m., so maybe like 12:30 or 12 Central Standard Time for me, just because the last 2 streams I've literally just been sitting around for like an hour waiting for the stream to start, and normally on days that I stream, I have something ready to stream and work on, and I don't really want to quite work on it before the stream starts. So I just end up like derping around and just like doodly-doo, don't know what to do. So yeah, but which days do y'all prefer the streams to be on? Do you prefer Tuesdays or Wednesdays? Hi Real, how are you? Okay, there we go. And then cut my strip of sandpaper. The other thing is I don't know how much sandpaper I have left. We will make it work. You like Tuesdays? Just great! Welcome on! How are you today? Been a while. The days that end with a Y. Okay. I think I can do that, Cliff. Maybe. Not 100% sure, though. I might have to get back to you on that, though. Oh, sorry. I'm supposed to show y'all what I'm making. So basically I get my masking tape and I flip it around, and then I get a little bit of tape here. You can do double-sided tape, and I'll do that for like small sanding pieces, but for large pieces I typically will do masking tape because I find it sticks a little better, especially with getting wet. And then I'll put it here and there. That's great. Good, good, good. So, yeah. Any day is good for you. Oh yeah, I'd agree. The first 5 days after the weekend are always the hardest, yeah. Monday's always the worst day because I'm always trying to figure out what I'm doing and I always stay behind. So now that I'm not streaming on Mondays, it seems to work a lot better. Kind of, but I haven't streamed that much yet this year. We'll see. Okay, so now we got our sanding stick and we can start sanding. So I'm gonna change this because it is not what I say on here. Is 220. Alright. Time to get messy. So I just have some water. Stick it. Tap a little. And then we're just gonna sand. And normally I'll start with a thicker or a more rough sand grit, so like 120. But because this is my last sanding layer, I'm trying to do it more where it's not gonna have as much cleanup, but we'll see. I may have to do in some spots the rougher grit. And you'll see as I sand, black will start to show, and that is actually the color of the Warbler that I used. And then for the sandpaper, you'll see that it starts to get shiny spots. And I actually have a file cleaner, and this is for jewelry, but you can find it online. And I just scrape it and clean that off, and then I can just keep reusing it. It'll get easier once it gets a little bit more into the sandpaper. But this will give us a really nice, smooth surface. And I like this process specifically for doing this on Warbler. It seems to be working a lot better than doing any type of wood glue, and you get a much smoother surface that's a lot prettier. But it does take a little bit more time because you have to do all the coats of the sandable spray paint. So yeah, that's pretty much done on that one. So this part is here. That part we'll have to do more. But yeah. It's a little giraffe. Okay, I'll have some more of my Dr. Pepper. Tuesdays are usually where your mine are. Mondays we're so busy, and Tuesdays you're already oh, okay. Gotcha. But yeah, now we're just going to sand for a while, and then once we're done sanding, hopefully it should all be done and I don't have to do another coat. There may be like one little spot, and we'll have to see. But if that's the case, or like if we're all done, then we can start gluing pieces together and adding all of the barbed wire onto the surface. So I'm excited about that. I'm a bit behind with making this piece for my personal schedule, but it's all good. There's no like specific time frame for when I'm supposed to have this done. I will say weather though has affected me a little bit with this, just because drying time, because it's colder in my basement, the paint is taking a lot longer to dry. I'm gonna switch over to this one real quick. I need to replace that one though. But yeah, I had such a fun time this weekend. So, if y'all remember, I told you when I went to LA Comic-Con, I went there and I made a friend who lives 10 minutes away from me in Nebraska. And LA Comic-Con is in California. So I finally got to go see where she works and hang out with her, and it was a lot of fun. And she and the bar invited me to come back to their once a month live show, and it's a body positivity show that they do, which is amazing. And it is basically kind of like a burlesque and then also a drag show. It was so much fun. So much fun. Me and Kendra, we ended up going for dinner beforehand because she didn't have to work it. And then had some sushi. Of course, because I love my sushi. It's actually good for once. It's like the first time I've had good sushi here. All the other sushi places haven't been that great. But then went to the bar, and we got there probably at like 6:30, and we didn't leave until like 1:30 or 2 in the morning. Oh my gosh, I was so tired. I was dead. And this was Sunday night. So Monday morning was like, nope for me. Nothing was happening. So yeah, but it was such a good time. I can't wait to go back next month. Yeah. Foxy, welcome on. How are you? Okay. This is a rougher grit, so I'm going to try to get those bumps out first. We'll have to do more cleanup though. Always a good make sure. I know! She's like my first friend here in Nebraska, and I'm really happy about it. And just the bar in general felt like I was at home. Everybody was so friendly, and everybody also kind of cosplays, which I found interesting, or at least liked it in games. So I just got to nerd out and have so much fun talking to like-minded people. So yeah, definitely a place that I'm gonna go to a lot. Hence why I'm not saying what it's called. So. Okay, I want to clean this one. First stream of 2023, you've caught so much. Wait. I think I've only done one actual official stream this year. I've done 2 more beforehand, but they were kind of like camera testing things. So it's okay. You haven't missed much, but yes, I moved and I'm in Nebraska now. So that's a big change. No longer in Texas. It's currently snowing. Yeah. If you want to see my new place, do !studio, and that will bring you to the video of my studio tour of my new place. So yeah. Something that everybody has always been asking for years now, and I finally did it. So finally. Just a few years late. Hi Roddy, welcome on. How are you? Hope you're having a good day. Ah, yes, I am. Thank you. Yeah, better than yesterday. Much better. Yesterday was a wonderful start to the morning. Woke up and Fluff was sick, so she exploded everywhere. Poor kitty. And then went downstairs, and my print had failed overnight because temperatures here have been really cold, and yesterday, because I was doing so much painting, when I paint, I have to turn off my furnace because I don't want my house to explode. And that means no hot air, so I'm having to use all of my heaters. But my 3D printers are in the basement, and I don't have a heater in my basement besides when the furnace is on. So the print bed, even though it's at temperature, it definitely changes the cooling, and it just didn't stick after a while. And it didn't, I ended up changing it where it had more connection to the bed with the main body, and a bunch of other things, and it printed fine overnight, today, last night, yesterday, whatever. But, so that was a bad start, and then I came in, I forgot there's like one other thing that was just like, I think it was just me being tired and I couldn't function. So yeah, I ended up canceling my stream yesterday. But all of y'all can catch it today. So yeah. Getting nice and smooth. You won't be able to tell at all that it was warbled underneath this. Also, so one thing is I don't have to worry about it being 100% smooth, because all of this, of course we're going to be adding EVA foam elements to the piece, but it's also all going to be covered in Plasti Dip as well. So it won't really matter as much, but I want it to be as clean as possible. So if there is a little bit of scratch marks like here that you can barely see, I don't even know if it's coming up on camera. I don't have to worry too much, just because the Plasti Dip, doing 3 coats of Plasti Dip on top, is going to hide it. Yeah. But I'm also being a little OCD on this just because it's a commission, and I'm trying out a new technique and I'm kind of liking it, but it's also a lot more painting with the filler primer anyway. Okay, that side's done. Keep on moving. We'll see if I can continue with this one or not. With the snow, what's going to be an interesting... Oh, yeah, so we already had our first snowstorm, and it was only like 2 inches of snow, and then today is the second one, and it's just started the last hour. Supposedly we're supposed to get like 5 to 9 inches, which will be cool. So we'll see. But I've already invested in tons of snow gear and actual warm clothing, since in Texas I didn't have a pair of actual warm anything. Got my first little hattie hat here, and it's fun to wear. And then have some scarves and actual winter snowshoes. So I'm excited. I want to put on like all my winter gear. I have a really heavy jacket now for the snow, and I want to go and like walk around in it when it gets really, really snowy. Hopefully. We'll see. But the cold is not as bad as it was in Texas. I don't know if it's like because of the humidity or anything, but it just doesn't seem as cold, even though it is a lot colder. And I've seen my first negative temperatures here, which I'd never seen in Texas. Hopefully I'm not vibrating the phones too much. Do you think you'll go to Dallas Fan Expo even though you moved? For this year I will not, but maybe in the next few years. I am hoping to be doing more stuff with Fan Expo and guesting at more of their events, but you'll have to stay tuned to hear more about that later. Yeah. Hopefully good news coming soon. So yeah. But as of right now for cons, the only one that I have planned for being a guest at is, well, I'm not like an official guest, but I'm going to be going with Createx Colors, which is my airbrush paint sponsor company. And I'm going to be at their booth. I'm going to have my own little spot connected with them for Monster Palooza, which is the first week in June in California, I believe. So I'm really excited about that one because it's like the Hollywood industry convention where it's just gonna be tons of FX costumes and makeup, and I'm just gonna feel like a little kid of just like, oh, I'm not worthy. So I'm really excited. That one's the one that I am planning on then bringing Lilith from Diablo 4 to. And that's going to be one of our cosplays that I'm going to start working on pretty soon. Well, I've done a little bit on it for planning, but I haven't started making it yet. So, yeah. Okay, this one's done. Nice and pretty, nice and pretty. And then we need to do a little bit in here. I'm just gonna wipe our table down some. But yeah, if you want to see me at any other conventions or conventions in Texas, if you want me to come back, just because I don't know how much I'll actually be able to come back, write to the convention requesting me as a cosplay guest. You can give them a link to my Instagram or my media kit page on my website, and then just request me as a guest, and maybe they will want to bring me out and I can bring my cosplays there to show you, as well as do some panels, some workshops, maybe judge their cosplay contest, whatever we work and negotiate on. So yeah. I know, smooth coats and coats, yep. Maybe humidity in Texas makes it feel worse. Maybe. Well, that, and also I didn't have any actual winter clothes could be a thing. You know, when you go out in flip-flops every day. Yeah. I didn't realize until I moved here that my only pair of actual shoes were Converse. So I got actual shoes for the first time. And actual jackets that aren't just like a t-shirt jacket. Because that's all I had. But yeah, it's not bad going out here now. It's funny because it'll be 40 degrees outside and super sunny, and I'll have all the windows open. Okay. It's a weird sound. Are we getting like ice things now? Little sleeves? I don't know. I know, the Holy Jeans. Yes, I still have my collection of Holy Jeans. Learned the hard way, you know, moving here, and I only had 2 pairs of jeans that didn't have holes in them. Now I have 4 pairs. Yes. This one I'm not gonna worry about too much because you're not really gonna see it. But I still want to kind of smooth it a little. You're now listening to 101 Tiff, the sound of sanding and sanding and sanding until my little hand and arm fall off from exhaustion. Yes. Hi Daniel, how are you today? Yee. Happy to see you on stream. I know Wednesdays I think are your days off, maybe? Maybe, baby? We are working on the Junker Queen axe today from Overwatch. So yeah. And hopefully the sanding won't take too long today. We'll see when we get to the actual axe and not the side part of the axe. And then we'll start attaching EVA foam parts to it after. Alright. Sanding ASMR. Yes, very much so. Very much so. I know. He lives! You don't have a schedule, remember? I thought you did. You're at work actually waiting for... Oh, nice. Wait. So did you... Are you still in Mexico or are you doing other places now? Question. We're gonna do the top part now. And then we'll flip it and do the opposite side. Oh, wait, I missed this whole side. Let me do this side first. Derp. This one we also don't need to worry too much because there's going to be EVA foam that attaches to it. Hey, but that's still fun. I really enjoy watching these. I've seen them twice now. Both were at ACL in Texas. Sand. And a little bit on the top. If you're not wet sanding, then this takes a lot longer. Tour outside begins on March, but they haven't given us the... Okay. Hey, but that's still exciting if it happens. This one I gotta use the rougher one on. So we're going back to 120. Okay. Close enough. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you're new, I'd love to have you as part of our community. So subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to press the like button. Helps the YouTube algorithm. And if you are on TikTok or if you are on Instagram, I'm actually live streaming on youtube.com/Tiffany Gordon Cosplay. And that is where I am actually reading chat. So if you have questions, comments, go to YouTube. It is free. So yes. It is, but you hate when they hold oh, yeah. Okay. Now for the top part. That part we're gonna have to use the other one, actually. A little bit of a bubbly. So. Have to be careful because I have a habit because it's so much easier to sand like this with pressure, but then my finger gets so tired, so I always have to try to force myself to do it this way, even though it's not as comfortable. And I'll probably end up putting like a band-aid on my thumb after a while too. Hopefully the table doesn't shake too much for y'all. Sun. So has anybody been watching anything interesting lately? I know there's, what is it, The Last of Us just came out on Netflix, I believe, or on, was it Netflix or was it HBO? I don't remember. I haven't seen it yet. So no spoilers. No spoilers. But that's on my my watch list. And then I'm a bit behind on my anime right now. Write it down! Daniel, thank you for becoming a remember for congratulations 1 year! I appreciate the support. Write it down. Yes. What's up? HBO. Okay. Let me... Is this book filled up? It is not! I can do this one. Okay. I have too many booklets. I have one that's like my everyday just random stuff, and then I started making an idea list for videos for YouTube. So the goal for this year is I want to try doing once a month a basic tutorial, just not over like how I made a prop, but over like a specific technique of like, here's how to sand foam, here's how to cut foam, here's how to cover insulation foam with Worbla, or things like that. Tips for 3D printing. Yeah, So hopefully I'll continue doing that. But yeah, if y'all have ideas, put them in the suggestion part on. Yeah, I know when like games come and are like made into a show, they sometimes have issues. So I'm hoping this one's still good. I wasn't a big fan of the latest The Witcher spin-off, whatever it was. And then same with like the Rings of Power. I wasn't a huge fan of that either. Looks like we had some connection problems. New anime on Crunchyroll. It's subbed only right now. You love it. It's called Campfire Cooking in Another World. Huh. What's it about? I'm still doing Chainsaw Man and the Spikes Family and then the Gundam, the Mercury Witch one. I haven't really been watching any other animes lately. I've also been playing a lot of Grounded, so. Blood Origins, it was okay. A bit fast though. Hey Archer, welcome on! Oh no, you're here! Welcome, welcome. Okay, let me look. Surface. We are today working on the Junker Queen axe. Yeah, if I'm ever not in camera, please yell at me and I'll try to adjust it. Pretty even. Just a little bit more and then we can flip it. And then I also want to go around and just make sure our edge is kind of a little nicer. Maybe. Maybe. Not too bad though. Okay. I'm pretty happy with that. So here is our done side, and then the back side that we still have to do. So this is after, this is our third coat and third time sanding. So, and again, this was insulation foam that was covered with Warbler, black Warbler, and then it's had 3 coats, and each coat after sanding with sandable primer. And this process I normally do for my 3D prints, and I wanted to try it for this process instead. So, seems to be working, which is good. Bad guy who gets summoned to another world, but he doesn't have a hero ability. He has online grocery skill. Not going to. Okay, that seems kind of funny. There's been a lot of like shows that I like the genre. I don't know what it's called, but it's like a guy that gets summoned and he's there with special ability to save the world. Like kind of oh, what is it? Is it okay to pick up girls in dungeon? And then there's also the shield hero one, which is kind of the same, that kind of genre. I always like those, but sometimes they're kind of repetitive. But that one seems like a mix of that and Fruit Baskets almost. Or not Fruit Baskets, I'm sorry, Food Wars. So I might check that out. I want to write that down because I'm gonna forget with my little fish brain right now. Where was it? Where is it? Where is it? Doop, 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 doop. Campfire cooking in another world. Okay. Okay, I got it. Oh, thank you. That one. Elementary and the Mentalist, yeah. He got bought in and refused to do anything. I haven't done too much watch parties lately, so if you don't know, in the Discord, sometimes I'll do watch parties, and we just watch whatever I'm watching. Anybody can also do it as long as it's not nudity. And everything I've been doing lately, I'm having to have like another screen open, and for how if I'm editing a video, if I go to any like other site or whatever, it messes up the watch party because I'm sharing my screen and not like the actual. Am I sharing the screen or am I sharing? No, I'm sharing like the site that I'm on or something, and it's stupid for how I have to do it on Discord. But yeah, and it just causes problems. But feel free. I would love to do more. If anybody else wants to do it, you can too. So yeah. Okay, let's continue sanding. This one I'll have to do the rough a little bit. Oh, I've also been watching the latest season of RuPaul's Drag Race, which is now on MTV. That is not a sponsor like ad thingy, even though it sounded like it. But I'm excited because I can watch it on there, where a lot of them have been on Paramount Plus, and I don't want to pay for that one. I'm currently doing another watch platform, whatever. But yeah, it's cool. Cool. Good season so far. I think they've had 3 episodes, maybe. A lot of times I'll do watch parties for that one. This one has a wee bit of a dip in it. We'll have to see. It should be fine, but it is a little bit deeper than I want. Okay, you're talking to yourself. Have a good day, everyone. Oh, okay. Sorry. Didn't see any of your messages on here, so. Let me see. I'm in the live chat. Let me check the other one and see if there's, for some reason, others in that one. No, seems like the chat's the same on both of them. Yeah, sorry, I haven't got any other messages except for that one, so. What do you think about Allison? Oh, I love that. So I watched the first season when it came out, and I've been slowly watching the second season. I'd say I preferred the first one more than the second one, but it's still good. I think I'm on the 3rd or 4th episode of season 2. I have to be in the right mood to watch that one though. Another really good one. And then you're on the So is the second season? Never mind. I don't want to ask. I don't want to ask. I don't want spoils. YouTube and Twitch. That's okay. I've been not watching Twitch as much lately. Yeah. There hasn't been too many games that I'm interested in. Besides, like, the games that I'm playing right now. I've been hardcore addicted to Grounded right now. I love it. I would also really like to get back into streaming on Twitch, doing gaming streams, so, but that's still a little bit far out. I still have to set up a whole nother computer aspect, because One thing about this being my full-time job is my main PC that's in here. If I'm spending 12 hours a day in here or more working on a cosplay, I don't want to sit in here and play games afterwards. Like, I want out of this room. So, and my PC in here is pretty old. It wasn't built for doing editing videos and things. So I'm trying to upgrade that. And this PC will then go and become my gaming PC. That is the plan. So hopefully we'll be doing some more gaming streams again. But those will only be on Twitch and will be different from, it won't be coming onto this channel. So just as a heads up. Oh, I totally forgot to put the... a little late in Discord. Also, let me write this real quick. Yeah, for YouTube, I've been watching, of course, all of my Abroad in Japan, and I watch Tokidoki and Tokyo Creative, and then some other stuff. And then there's really only like one cosplayer that I watch too much. So, yeah. Daniel, thank you for the 250 Mexican pesos, Mexican dollars, whatever they're called. Gaming streams are going about. Thank you, I appreciate it. Sounds like a good plan. Yeah. I would love to do, so the idea for doing the gaming stuff is I want to not have it as a doing it for just as a schedule. I want to do it whenever I want to stream, and so the idea would be doing VTubing kind of stuff. Yay! So, yeah, there's the notification for it. But I just want to be a bum and play games and not care what I look like and not be judged for if I'm wearing makeup or not wearing makeup, my hair or my clothing. I'd rather just like have fun. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. I have to MX, write it differently. Okay, got it. Thank you, thank you. So yeah, but we'll see how that goes. But game-wise, right now, I am playing Grounded, like I said. I kind of stopped playing Genshin, but I think they just had an update. I'm not sure if it's if they updated the world, because I've been waiting for the next area in the desert area to come out, because I'm pretty much like 100% of everything, and so I've been waiting for more, and I don't want to do like a story, because I don't play Genshin for the stories, I play it for the exploration and finding all the chests, because I like loot. And yeah, so I've been waiting for that. I'm not sure if it came out though, or if we're still waiting. I know they just had a new banner, what, yesterday? Today? Something like that. So. But I would be streaming that again. So like me my Genshin. And then I'd love to do more just random streams, like do a lot of demos. Yeah. The short little games, maybe some scary games. Grounded, so one thing is, with Grounded is, I've never screamed so much in my life. And it's because of the spiders. I thought I'd be fine. I have like the arachnophobia on 4 out of 5. And they still scare me so bad. Every time they come up, I'm just like, ah, and I scream, and I just run away. I have such a hard time with the spiders. They're not too bad now that I'm like towards the end of the game, but it's just like the noise just makes me cry and run away. So yeah, but it's so much fun still. So I don't know, maybe doing some of the scary games and not completing them so you can see them? Maybe? I don't know. We'll see. But that's still a long way away if I want to go back into doing gaming streams on Twitch. And I don't know if I'll even do notifications. I'll probably just be like, I'm streaming now on Discord, and that's it. I want it to just be how I originally started streaming on Twitch, what, like 5-6 years ago, and it just be fun and not be about numbers. Yeah, I could do World of Warcraft again. But that's like more of an investment thing right now. Spider filter, though, you think they are more scary in Blood 4? No, so my adventure with the spiders, when I decided to change the filter, I had it originally with the legs and everything, and it was, so growing up, my stepmom, my stepmom's mom's house was in the middle of nowhere in the country, and they had all those black and white, or black and yellow spiders with the really long legs, and they were in every single window. I never wanted to open any of the blinds because they were just out there huge, like that big on the spider webs. They creeped me out so much. Not to mention my stepmom had 2 pet tarantulas when I was a kid. I don't like spiders and I don't like bugs. Yeah. They're called spooters for me now, to try to make it cuter so I'm not so, like, scared. But yeah, it's... The first time in the game was... I was exploring in the under the bush area that had all the berries, and there's tons of spiders under there, and I was trying to sneak around, and one was chasing me. So I jumped inside one of the cans. So there's like, the concept of the game is you've shrunk, you're like this big, so a can is like that big. And I jumped inside the empty can, and it was nothing but spiders around, and I was hearing their sounds, and all of their legs were like glitching through the can, and I'm inside, and one was like trying to climb in, and all of the legs just scared me so bad. I was just crying in the corner, like I don't know what to do. It was very bad. After that I changed the filter and I just hauled ass out of there. So, I don't like spooters. Nope, nope, nope. Nope, 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 nope. Yeah. But now they're blobs, like two circles, but it has the same color as the spider, but no fangs really and no legs whatsoever. And I can kind of deal with that, but the noise still creeps me out. Doing the level 5 though was too much because they turn into the same color as sap in the game, and so it was too hard for me to see from a distance that it was a spider or if it was sap, like a sap blob, so I couldn't do that. Yeah. This one I still have a little bit of some yappas. Might have to see. Go a little bit that way. I'm a bit behind. I'm sorry. Caspian, thank you. I swear you were just gifted a member like last week. Thank you for becoming a remember for 2 months. Greatly appreciate it. Much love. I know, spooters are our friends. No, they are not. No, that and spooky noodles. Nope, nope, nope. Skyrim with giant. I don't know if I remember seeing that. Hi Hitman, welcome on. How are you? And angry? So I'm a bit behind. No, like spiders, yeah. Yep. Don't forget to write it down. I'm writing it down. I had to catch up with chat because I went on a rant on spiders and stuff. I don't like me, more spiders. Remember. Okay, I got it. Thank you. The notification will come up at some point because you know it's always behind. Okay. Write it down. Write it down. There you go. And for those that are still on Instagram and on TikTok, I'm actually live streaming on youtube.com/Tiffany Gordon Cosplay. So if you would like to chat, ask questions, go to YouTube because that is actually where I am reading chat and answering questions. So yes, go there. You're gifted the membership, but it lets me announce it oh, okay. So it's a double notification then, maybe. I don't know. I still have the original emote that I made. It was like my first emote I made on Twitch years ago, and it was Spooky Noodles, and it was when we were playing one of the Assassin's Creed games. I think it was Origins, and we were going into all of the pyramids, and there was nothing but I was gonna say spooky, or spiders, but all the snakes were in there. And I'd like scream every time we saw those two. Okay. It looks pretty good. Yep, yep. Okay, this one we gotta do a little bit more of this part. Also, I'm gonna switch to the other side now. Danger noodles are dangerous. Yeah. This is gonna look great. Yep. Oh, again, if you're seeing all the black parts come up, that's actually the original Warbler. So I got pretty close to it being smooth, but Warbler, you're covering something, and it's basically like putting a pancake on top of something, and it covers the shape, but it's still a little bit bumpy. So this part, with doing the sandal filler, is making it so it's actually smooth. There's just a tiny bit of a gap. But I think we'll be okay. I can just say it's battle damage there. Shaping a knife just as junker cleanup? I don't know what you're asking, Archie. Okay, we did those sides, so we just have the top now. And I'm just going to use this one on the high spots. And then we'll be moving to the main axe part. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, and happy 2023 to you as well. Okay, that's good. So now we can do the flat part and finish off this buddy. And thanks guys for watching. If you're new to the channel, would love to have you as part of the community, so subscribe to the channel here on YouTube. It is free, as well as don't forget to like the video while it's live to help with the YouTube algorithm. Oh, my nose. I need to get a tissue real quick. I'll be back. No, Caspian. No. Yeah, so for Junker Queen, I'm only making the axe and the knife, and these are both commissions. So there is not an actual full cosplay for this. A little bit of a gap there. I think I need to go back to this one. And again, this is the file cleaner that I'm using to just clean the sandpaper ever so slightly. Let's see if I can get this out or not. I really don't want to do another coat. I want this to be my last coat. Will this part be covered? It should be pretty much covered though, so I don't have to focus on it too much, maybe. Maybe, if I'm lucky. Yeah, our next cosplays will be one from Genshin. I always butcher her name, Nilo. The red-haired girl from the new desert area. Or, no, she wasn't in the desert area. She was in the main, I don't know what it's called. But she's one of the newer characters. And then also we'll be doing Lilith from Diablo 4. And definitely, if this was a 3D print, and again, this isn't 3D printed, we would want to go down to a lower grit. So from 220, we'd probably want to go to 400 and 600 to get all of the sanding lines out. But this whole thing, once we finish making the axe, is going to be covered in plasti dip. So you won't see any of the lines. So this is going to be it. Our little giraffe is done, which is not really a giraffe, but yeah. Now we can go to the axe portion, which will take a lot longer. Took us a bit of time for sanding that. More than I wanted, but our axe. Yeah, I'm currently live, so I'm streaming on YouTube, and that's where I'm reading chat, but I'm also doing live on Instagram and on TikTok. So yeah. Yep. Caspian. Alright, let me see which side. This one will have more of the cleanup than this one. So we'll be good. I'm gonna start with this side, and then I'll do this one. I might have to move it over here though to work. Yeah. I'm gonna change this paper out though. The finer grit sandpaper you have to change out more often. But I forgot to ask, did anybody do anything fun this last weekend or have any plans coming up? make the piece harder because it's a rubber. It'll stiffen it a little bit, but it just makes the piece get thicker with the amount of coats that you're applying to it. And it would definitely start to gummy bear the, I did this wrong. It would start to gummy bear your shape, so your pointed edge would then turn into a blob after a while. So maybe not your best plan of action, Caspian. It is not wanting to stick at all. You mean a friend, Caspian? Or I mean a Cliff, and you don't know what to do now. Got a commission on Sunday night. The client wants it finished today. Oh, okay. Good luck with that. Hopefully it's a relatively easy commission. Was it the piece that you're working on that's for the jacket or something? There we go. Covered. Sanding stick acquired. Okay. I don't want to do this. I really want to sand here. It's just off the table. Sorry, guys. This is how I was standing when I wasn't streaming. Okay. You get to see the lovely trash can. What a wonderful view. Local Renaissance Fair the next 2 weekends, but friends COVID saying, "Aw, sorry. Hope she feels better." You should still try to go though. See if you have any other friends to go with. I can't wait to do the Renaissance festivals here. Apparently, there's like 2 really huge ones that are near me, but they like come later in the year, I think. Yeah, I don't like sanding with a belt sander, specifically with any of my cosplay parts. I know some people do, but you are so likely to mess up something. And I just prefer doing this part. But I don't know how you would do it with a shoe. Ren fairs here are so fun. That's a good one in May-ish. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to ask some of my friends, and they're all like, "Oh, we like the Ren Fair, but we haven't been in years." And I'm just like, sad day. Because all I want to do is go. I want to actually, so I've never made anything for the Ren Fair. I normally, just because I make cosplays all the time, I don't really want to dress up and, like, I do want to dress up, but I don't want to, like, it's another day of wearing more stuff, and I don't want to use any of my cosplays that I've made, but I kind of want to make just a basic pretty fairy outfit or something. I've worn some of my corsets before, but I'd be curious on kind of the differences here. That, and it's not supposed to be hot, where in Texas all Renaissance fairs have always been stupid hot. So that's kind of exciting. Maybe. But there's so much here I have not seen yet. I haven't been to any other city in Nebraska yet either. I'd like to go to Lincoln, which is like, I think, an hour away from me. And then there's Kansas City, which I believe is 2 hours. I had to go there because there's an IKEA and I need to get another table. So, we'll see. I have to borrow a truck from somebody. What else? There's like tons of cool stuff. So Nebraska's like a long state apparently. I'm terrible with states, but I'm on one side, and on the opposite side is like all this cool stuff like outdoors, and I'm excited to go when it gets warm and go hiking again and see stuff. So yeah. Yes, I'm a Disney princess with all my bunnies that are outside. There's 5 of them now. A lot of people that dress up in full cosplays and pretty, Yeah, I don't know where that one. Trying to think. I'm terrible with locations here, so I have no idea. I'm not gonna even try to figure it out at this point. Okay, we are almost done with this side. I'm really happy with the sharp angles on everything. It's nice. No, Nebraska supposedly still gets like up to the hundreds here. So it's pretty much gonna be Texas in the summertime, is what I've been told, but maybe not quite as bad. We got a tiny little pit there. We'll see if I'll be able to get it out or not. It may become battle damage. I don't know if we'll be able to on this one. Yeah, other things I want to explore here. There's a cider facility here. There's like a bunch of them actually. Or like a cider brewery. I don't know what they're called. But I've never been to one and I've always wanted to go. There was like one in Austin, but I just ran out of time before I moved to go see it. Okay, and then top part again. Spin. Yeah, and I'm also closer to, at least from Texas, I'm closer for C2E2. And I'd like to go as well, but I think the plan is this year is maybe to try BlizzCon whenever they announce their date. They announced there's going to be a show. But alright, that part's done. So you can see here all of that nice and smooth compared to the other side. I know it's an illusion because you see all the black parts, but yeah. The only thing is, because it is the Warbler showing, it does have a slightly different texture, but I'm pretty sure, not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure when we do the plasti dip on this part, you won't really see it. Okay. Is it ice rain now? I don't really know, like... I'm so confused because it's snowing now. And the snow's making noises. And I don't know if this is normal because it's like a heavy snow or if it's ice. I don't really know. This whole thing is weird for me. We haven't got too much yet. I was expecting there to be like, when they said there was gonna be a ton of snow, I was expecting it to come, like, there'd be more snow all at once, but I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Yeah. Alright. Continuing onward. I guess we can do this one. This is the hardest spot to get, specifically this one. This area is just, it's hard to get the sandpaper in it. So, onto here. I need to do a little bit of the rough one, 120. Snowy ice, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what this thing, there's stuff coming from the sky and it's not rain and I don't understand it. Maybe somebody with actual snow experience besides Caspian in Florida and Daniel in Mexico giving snow advice. Nothing wrong with y'all, but y'all are like me from Texas in that aspect. It's a myth. We don't know what this is. It just doesn't exist, you know. I know. Oh, the sky is falling. Blah. Blasphemy. Used Flex Bond for priming Warbler? No, I haven't used that. Have you? For priming Warbler, I've done Plasti Dip, which isn't really priming. You're just putting stuff on top. And then I've done the wood glue method. I don't like the wood glue method. It's just, it just makes the surface smoother, but it doesn't make it like flat. And it chips off really easily. But this seems to be my favorite method so far with covering for priming, which is the stuff I use for 3D printing. And it's like, I like when it comes to working with cosplays using the same thing that I can, like, I don't have to have a specific one. Yeah, I can't talk today. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I don't like having one piece of like primer that only works for one type of media. I like being able to use it for multiple things, and it just makes it easier and less stuff to have around the house. And I can assure you snow is real. Okay. You'd always build a snowman. I could. Mm-hmm. You have your Lady Loki horns. Give it, okay. I'll have to look. The open air fridge. 2 years in Canada, snow is very real and can be lots of fun. I know, words are hard. Okay, so this side we got done. Moving right along. I'm gonna actually move to this part. Snow isn't the problem, the ice underneath is. We had that issue a tiny bit with the first snowstorm. It snowed enough to have some on the surface, but then it was sunny the next day and it melted enough to become ice, and then there was just ice on top. But it wasn't like Texas ice, so it wasn't proper Canada. Why are you living in Canada? Real? I have to use it for EVA foam as well. There's a little learning curve to get rid of brush strokes. Oh, okay. That's the thing I don't really like is brushing on methods, but it can be a lot less chemically smelling compared to plasti dip, I assume. But yeah, that's why I didn't like the wood glue method on Warbler. And look, the thing for me is how fast I have to work on my pieces. So even though I don't do commissions too much, I only do it for companies. Like the pace that I work on just my normal cosplay, I can't be bothered to sit and hand paint. It just takes so long, and I'm just like, meh. I'd rather just spray and then work on something else. I'm too, I can't be bothered. But I'm curious still with it. I'd like to see results of what you're talking about, Honeycrow. Do you want to share some of the stuff in Discord if you haven't already? Dad's job moved us out there. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I still, even though I don't use all the methods that people have, I do like to still learn about them. Just so I can help other people with different options, because other countries, they don't have plasti dip, and that's one of the big things that I get all the time is like, what can you use besides that? And I always try to recommend the best result type of things, but it doesn't mean it's the only way to do something. Like making a piece out of Warbler versus EVA foam, I mean, you can make it most likely in either of the materials, just they're going to look slightly different. You'll get similar results, but it just depends also with how you are working with that material, what tools you have, and whatnot. Give a wee bit of a hole spot. There we go. I got it. Gotta cosplay fast. I know. Honestly, I'm so ADD of like, if I work on a cosplay for like some of my larger builds, so like my Mercy ones and stuff, if I'm working on it for more than 2 months, I'm going nuts. I just can't focus on it anymore. I have to have it done already. And I think that's kind of my downfall with a lot of costumes is I can make them okay, but sometimes my quality for my bigger builds aren't always as good as my smaller builds. Obviously there's more surface area, but it's just because I lose focus on it and I don't want to work on it anymore. And so I just kind of half-ass a lot of parts, honestly. Alright. That side is done. Move to here now. What? I would like to have like a cosplay line brand or something. Like, here's Tiffany EVA foam and Tiffany Warbler and things. But that would be a lot. I know SKS Props does that, and they have their own foam. But with the Glowforge, I do want to have cosplay kits. So once I finally save up enough money for that, I'll start making some cosplay ready kits. So if you like want a kit of this knife or whatever, and then you can assemble it yourself kind of thing and get into cosplay, and like I want to do a bunch of starter ones of like here's some horns and some things. That's kind of the goal. idea of one day when I make more money, I would like to do where maybe we do, here's a cosplay like starter kit, or not a starter kit, but like something to, we have a newer cosplayer in the community, and like we sponsor them for a month of like, here's a box of EVA foam and Warbler and some crafting scissors and a heat gun and things to kind of help in the cosplay community. I would love to do that. Just don't have money for that right now. That's still in my mind. We talked about that, I think, at least a year ago, if not 2 years ago. And it's still on my, I would like to do this one day. Or like maybe it's something where they're wanting to learn maybe airbrush painting and get into that, and we sponsor like an airbrush thing, or if they're trying to get into a specific type of material, sponsoring that. Something for the Glowforge. I greatly appreciate it. Much love. Yes, we are currently saving up for a Glowforge, which, if you didn't know what it was, it is a... Yay! Thank you. Industry level, basically laser cutter and etcher that has a capability of like a giant scanner kind of thing. And it's our next big investment. So yes. So all our donations are going to that. Thank you. Yes. And for those that are still watching on Instagram and on TikTok, I'm actually live streaming on youtube.com/Tiffany Gordon Cosplay right now. And that is where I am reading chat. So if you do have comments and questions, leave these platforms and go to YouTube. Yes, and it's free. Free. So, what's up? Okay. Sun. And as always, if you would like to share any of your current cosplay builds, we have an open Discord channel, and you can share it in the cosplay section. Just do !Discord here on YouTube. And we've got the cosplay work in progress. If you want to share your finished cosplays, we have a section there. Or any tricks, or I was going to say tips or hacks, or whatever it's called. So yeah. Alright, that is nice. Thank you, Anna. Yeah, we have just a tiny little spot there, but it's not too bad. So we will go to this part now. I need to put a tiny bit of tape on my thumb. Yeah, we're currently working on the Junker Queen axe right now, and this is insulation foam that has been covered in black Warbler and then has 3 coats of sandable primer, and this is our 3rd coat that we are now sanding and finishing. And once that's done, we will start gluing the things together. Also, I realized that my window is like starting to freeze over, so I don't actually know if we will be able to open my window to glue. I have not yet experienced this, so we'll see. your paint booth? If so, in that specific video reel for the studio, exclamation point studio, I have a link to it. Otherwise, I don't remember it offhand. Look in the description. There is the spray booth, and there should be the fan and the orange hose. Otherwise, the thing that I show in the video, which is the rectangle, is actually just a sheet for your furnace, like the little insert thing, and it's a wooden little rectangle that so you can slide the piece in and out to replace it, if that makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, if you haven't checked it out, for everybody else, I did a studio tour last week, and it is now on YouTube, so check it out. I do an in-depth tour of all 3 of my studio spaces, so you can see. Cardboard and tape artist. Really enjoy your approach to your art. Ah, thank you. Yeah, lots of appreciation for cardboard pieces too. I work with typically EVA foam, sometimes insulation foam, sometimes Warbla, sometimes 3D printing elements. It really just depends on the build. I do a lot of sewing as well. And for me, I switch a lot of times back and forth for my cosplay builds, from sometimes larger ones to smaller ones. And I like changing up which type of media I use. And how I design my pieces is always for transportation, just because I fly a lot with my costumes, and trying to make them as lightweight as possible. But yeah, welcome to the community. If you'd like to share any of your cardboard creations, you can share it in our open Discord. We'll have to change this out soon. It's a much quieter approach than me standing at my workbench, though. Done with this side. A little more there. Okay. We got a tiny bit of stick. Much machine. I think we are good with that, so the last parts are these sections in here to do. First time you're on your live, discover techniques. Oh, okay, well, welcome. Yeah, I used to stream a lot more, but I have moved recently, and also with the holidays, I just have not been able to stream, so getting back into it now. Understand? Oh, okay. Bonjour! That's as much as I have. We're gonna switch to this one, and I'm actually gonna change our sandpaper. Hope you're having a lovely day. Have fun on the stream. Thanks. Hope you're having a great day too. Happy to see you back. I hear you tapping. Yeah, feel free if you have any other cosplay questions or anything, you can always ask. Even if it's not what I am currently working on. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Tiffany of Tiffany Cosplay. I am a full-time costume and prop fabricator as well as educator here on YouTube. And our current build is a commission, and it is for the Junker Queen for her axe as well as a knife. And I'm only open for commissions for business companies for promotional use, not for individuals. So no commissions. Sorry. Alright. Bonjour. He's done. More water. Kathy. Thought I heard her walking. Okay, let's try to get in here. Few little spots. That's about it there. Tiny bit there. And there. This one I really need to change out too. What did you learn last year that you want to improve on this year? That's a hard one. I don't know. I learned a lot of stuff. Like, typically when I figure something out, I implement it going forward on, like, my next build. I learned a lot with YouTube, specifically, like, streaming and also doing my tutorials on here, and I've changed them so much, and I'm continuing to change them. I'd say a big thing I learned is nobody reads my write-ups on any of my platforms. And that's a little frustrating, but it's something that I've learned a lot, and I've changed how I write a lot of things. Just because, like, if somebody reads it, they only read, like, the first line, and then that's it. So I've had to kind of change how I format things. For cosplay techniques, I learned I never want to vinyl wrap, stretch fabric vinyl wrap EVA foam ever again. That was a big learning curve that I learned in December for my Gundam. Also learned for conventions, I would rather bring to conventions armor builds than smaller ones. Just because I want to be known for my work and not for my body. I want to be known for armor builds and working on EVA foam and stuff, and people know that I actually make things. Which has been a hard thing for accepting, is most people don't think I make my costumes. So there's your real talk there. I'm gonna change this one out too. Do I call companies that you want to make stuff, or do they? I never reach out to companies, they reach out to me, at least for commissions. I'll say for some sponsored companies, sometimes I'll reach out and be like, hey, I like your project. If you ever want to do something together, let me know. That's like the only time I reach out. Otherwise, companies reach out to me. What would be the difference between... Wait. What would be the difference between a cosplay and a... I'm not answering your question, Caspian. I don't... It's too much. Why don't I use an electrical machine for carving? So I do have a workbench that I use a Dremel or a flex shaft for doing sanding, but for this specific thing that we're doing, this is sandable primer, and I do not want to use water with my Dremel. That's a no-no. With the sanding bit and everything, I don't want to deal with that. So I find I get better results and more control for doing this specific prop this way. Otherwise, if I'm working with EVA foam, I would use a sanding drum for cleaning up any of my edges. What's the name of this tool? A sanding stick. It's just a paint stick, so a wooden paint mixing stick. And then I typically will write what grade of sandpaper, so I have like a whole jar. And I'll put my masking tape on. And then, oops, I'm gonna take my little tape finger off. But basically, I just do that and I put my sandpaper on top. And then I'm wet sanding, so I dip it in water and then sand it. And that helps contain all of the dust from being in the air for the most part. And then I can wipe it away. It also is a much faster process for sanding and a lot cleaner. So if you think of painting with a paintbrush, it eliminates more of the sandpaper strokes or like a paintbrush stroke, if that makes sense. It's a very cheap way of sanding. And you can do this with EVA foam too. I've done this for all of my large head critters, so like my Emil head or Moon Man or the bunny head that I made, where they're literally, they go over my head, they're like mascot heads. And they, it's just easier to sand them with a stick. So if you don't have money for a Dremel as well, you can always hand sand things. Gimping! Hi! Give me 2 seconds, little fluffles. Good question, though. Hello! How are you feeling? How are you feeling? How are you feeling? This is Fluff. My fluffy kitty. You feel good? And she's got her little booty on still because she's still scratching her ear. Forever doing that. You a good girl? You want to sit behind me? There you go. There you go. Good girl. Okay, we need sandpaper. I'm trying to keep her, oops, what this one? Keep her out of the sand. From Camp Mayberry, so yes. Hello from Italy. Oh, welcome. What type of pen did you use to write on black foam? Started following you from the Gundam Armory Mill. Told respect. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. So you can use a silver Sharpie. I hate silver Sharpies on black foam, especially if your foam is oily, then the Sharpie just dies. But what I use is this, and this is a white pin from Tandy Leather. It's specifically for leather, and it works great on EVA foam, but it's expensive. And I'll show you real quick. I have a scrap here. You don't have to jump. You're good there. You're good there. So here's some foam. So here's a Sharpie. That's your Sharpie line. Oh, sorry. And it'll last a little bit, but it dries really fast. And then here is this pin. It's kind of like a gel pin, and on leather it rubs off. On foam it'll rub off a little bit, but it lasts pretty well. So that's that. And you can, so for real. But yeah, Tandy leather. And I think I have a link in my Amazon shop in the leather section, possibly, ! Amazon. How do you go about pricing commissions, assuming you take into consideration all materials, but how do you? I undervalue my time, honestly. Most of the stuff I make, so I don't do too many commissions just because most companies that reach out, like I'll get in 1 month sometimes 6 commission requests, and then you get ghosted half the time. And that's just because the companies are literally sending the same email to 20 different cosplayers. So it's kind of like, unfortunately, a lot of companies that want commissions right now don't really care about your building experience and care about your numbers on social media. And there's a lot more cosplayers out there that have larger social medias than me. So it's kind of hit or miss at this point for me. For pricing my pieces though, I do price for my time. But it also depends kind of on, like, if I'm interested in a build, then I'll probably price it lower for my time. Where if I'm not interested in the builds, I'll price my time a lot higher, just because I want to be interested when I'm working on something. If I'm not, my work doesn't look as good, so I have to really focus on it. But yeah, pricing is a hard thing, honestly, but you always want to make sure you are at least getting all of your money back for your cost of materials. With this as my full-time job, like, I have to be considerate if I want to take up a commission, if it's going to be worth my time to even make it, and also how long, like, are they only giving me 2 days to make it? Then no. If I have longer than that, then maybe I'll do it. But I know that didn't really answer too much. But yeah. Come back to me when I'm not so tired, and I'll answer it better. Sorry. Hi Neb, welcome on for being new. My little cat thing's behind me now. I don't know if y'all can see her. But yeah, we're working on the Junker Queen axe for people that are curious. How does Fluff like the new home? She likes it a lot. She's warmed up to it a bit, and she really likes that there's a heater in every room. So yeah. What do you mean spin armor? Shop is busy, I don't know if you saw it. Yes, I did. I'm sorry. I meant to reach out, but I know for me, I don't like when people bring it up, so I didn't know really. Yeah. But I'd say for commissions also, I'm at the point where because of kind of all the back and forth of like companies kind of testing you, of like seeing who can get the most views for their product, which makes sense because they're paying for you to make it and also paying for you to post about it. I kind of lower my cost of things just because I want more on my resume, I guess you could say. Because everybody has like a cosplay resume, and then I can be like, hey, I've worked with these companies. But if you are trying to get into commissions, I would recommend doing it for people first, like for friends and family. So you can have some of those on there. And you can say you're open to companies, but that way you have more to kind of show off. I know Kamui has a video about doing cosplay commissions too, if you're interested. How's Nebraska treating you? You're off sick today, so you can actually watch the stream. Positive and negative. Positive, I like it a lot. I've made some friends here, which I'm really happy about. Like, people that I feel like I can be myself around, and I don't have to act a certain way. I don't have to be proper. I can just let loose. And kind of like back in my college days many years ago. Oh gosh, it's almost been 10 years since college. But yeah, it's... Negatives would be working on cosplays, and because of the weather, it's very much made things difficult. So, okay, all of our edges are done, so now we need to do the top half. I'll wipe down our surface. Have a new lady friend. You'll have to tell me more later. I want to hear about said lady friend. Does the lady friend have a title, or is it just a lady friend right now? Questions. They must be answered, I must know. Okay, I think we just need our 220. Thanks for that. Your thoughts on internet talk about 3D printing taking over the industry? Painting versus printed photo, handmade armor versus printer. I am totally fine if you want to 3D print stuff, but I'm gonna answer it as a judge for a cosplay competition. We are seeing a lot more 3D printed stuff. As someone that does 3D print and understands the process behind 3D printing, that if somebody just bought a file and printed it, yes, there are, like, you have to figure out all of your printing settings, if you have to segment your piece and glue it together, getting rid of all of the printer stair-stepping lines is a big, like, thing to do. But in judging, if you aren't making it yourself, like the CAD work, it's kind of like okay, you put together a kit, and it's kind of sad to see that more. There's nothing wrong with it, but I would much rather see somebody who maybe their stuff doesn't look as good, but they hand did all of the CAD work themselves rather than bought all of the files themselves. But there is a lot going on in the behind scenes if you properly clean up a piece. I will tell you, I will more judge a 3D printed piece more strictly than just a handmade piece, because it is, most of the time when I see 3D printed pieces from people, they didn't clean it up at all. They'll like paint it, but they don't specifically clean up anything. You can see that it's 3D printed, and you don't want that. And a lot of people just, like, it's cool, you made that, but you didn't take that next step, and I want to see more of that. For hand making, I'd say I appreciate it more. I appreciate the time in it, but I do like to see them get better over time with more precise cutting by hand. So yeah, it just kind of depends on the piece. I don't actually talk too much about 3D printing and things, just because, let's be real, I'm a female, and most of the time, every time I talk about 3D printing, everybody just kind of puts my opinions and what I say to the side, so I kind of don't really talk about it, even though I used to have an industry job with doing it. Just for doing jewelry designing and things. Let's see, what was the other part of it? Painting versus printed photos, Okay, I think did that answer your question? I don't know, if y'all want more in depth, let me know. But there is an art to both parts. So yeah, I have appreciation for both of them. Just when it comes to cosplay competitions, it's a little bit different. And I know a lot of cosplay competitions are in the talk of, if you didn't do the CAD work yourself, they're going to be restricting it more. Where if like you made a whole suit, but you didn't do the CAD work of any of it, you just printed it, then it wouldn't be accepted. That's how a lot of discussion is going for competitions now. But if you did, like, let's say, if you were to buy like one of my harnesses for like my RE9 tails, then that would be fine, because it's not the entire cosplay is bought. It's the harness, but you made everything else kind of thing. Yes, that's great. How do you prove that you made CAD files versus just buying them, since things versus... Well, it's kind of hard. Like, so I'll say I know a lot of people, at least for pattern making, for like specific, if anybody has an Ari costume, and I can tell you their tail, what pattern they used. If it's mine, if it's Kimpatsu's, if it is Stella's. And as judging, I will always ask, where did you get it? And most of the time I know the answer. And also for cosplay competitions, everybody, for the most part, like, you want to bring in a build book or show on your phone work in progress pictures. So if you can show, like, here's you working on the CAD, here's the 2D line work, and then here's you slowly making parts, then you get, like, not bonus points or anything, but it helps prove that you did it. Where a lot of times you can kind of tell certain things. So most of the time, like Iron Man suits, it's very rare that somebody makes it themselves. And yeah, there can be some people that lie about it, but I'd say a good portion, at least for cosplay competitions, there's a good part of people that are honest. And that's been nice. But sometimes it gets passed, so. But most of the cosplay competitions I judge do require some form of a build book, or if it's a competitive one, they'll already bring one. And I like to let people know in advance, like, bring your build books if I'm judging. So I helped with Blizzard's Hearthstone cosplay competition recently. I did the administration side, and I helped with a lot of the background, and I shared my World of Warcraft armor build book to help people with submitting theirs. Did that answer? Five dates and warrant a title. Yes! Yes! Yay! I'm happy for you. I want to see pictures later. Yes, yes. So smooth. I'm happy. It's getting there. This side's almost done, and then we'll have to go to the other side. Take it a wee bit longer. Yeah. Blizzard, never heard of them. Yeah. Let me see. I think I'm pretty happy with that. So the only other thing with this is I'm going to clean up some of these lines. So, the little cat thing. he's so good. So good. Alright. But yeah, for people that are asking, this is not 3D printed. I am just using the same method of cleanup that I do for my 3D prints. So when you add sandable primer, it is adding material for you to sand away. So in all of your spots, you have to kind of go back and carve them back out a little bit so they're not gummy bear blobby. But yeah, good questions from y'all. If you are on TikTok or Instagram, I'm actually reading chat on YouTube, and that is where I'm actually streaming. So if you have questions, go on there. And love to have you as part of the community, so subscribe to the channel if you have not already. This is just a clay working tool. But yeah, we're working on the Junker Queen axe right now, which is a commission, and it is a base of pink insulation foam that has been sandwiched in between black Warbler, and then has 3 heavy coats of sandable primer on it, and sanding in between each layer, and this is our 3rd layer. And that's the same material that I use to clean up my 3D prints. And this is a new technique that I'm trying out specifically with Warbler, and I like it a lot. A lot more than some of the other processes that I've tried, so. Makes sense? Yeah. Cliff. I'm happy to be back and streaming for y'all. I hope y'all are enjoying it, even though we're just sanding right now. The fun sanding. Yee. Thank you for the sub, I think? Yes. Thank you, and welcome to the community. Yeah, there's only, for this axe, there's only 2 pieces that are 3D printed on it, because when it comes to working with EVA foam and things, I hate making spikes. So the top and the bottom, I did spikes on, so. Ah, they're pointy. Yee! Happy you're back, thank you. Also, welcome to the community as well. Okay, that around here. Yeah, I gotta make sure, because this is not our final layer, I'm still gonna be doing plasti dip on top of this. I have to really make sure that these lines are really put into the piece, because plasti dip is a rubber spray paint. It will also add more to the gummy effect, or gummy bear effect look, and so everything will become a little less sharp. So I want to make sure that these are really engraved into the piece so you can see them through all the layers. And that's because we're going to be doing EVA foam on top of this. And I just find when you work with different mediums on a costume or a prop, if you're working in like EVA foam and then also 3D printing, you can really tell the difference between the 2 finishes. So I like to have the same type of look on both of them. So I find that if I'm doing EVA foam, then I do everything in the end with plasti dip, and it gives it a nice even look towards the end. And it makes it so it's a little bit harder to tell what parts are 3D printed and what parts are EVA foam. Since you have experience in the jewelry making, are there small details of cosplays that you love to see? Handmade or buckles? I hate buckles. I hate buckles so much. Appreciate anybody that like 3D models and prints buckles. I've done some, but I hate buckles. They're so annoying. I just buy buckles and like I'm done with it. I'd say I don't know for like 3D printing wise, but I have a very, very big appreciation for hand embroidery and cosplay undergarments. When somebody makes a corset time specific for the character that they're making, obviously you don't see it, but if they have a build book, they'll show you like what is there. I have such a huge appreciation that they took that extra step to make things accurate. Love seeing that. Same with like making your own hoop skirt. Big appreciation for that. I've done some where I've welded hoop skirts together in college out of steel rods, and that's a whole nother thing. But let's see. I guess for jewelry, like when it comes to 3D printing it, like for one, I hate jewelry. I did jewelry smithing as like I made money. I have appreciation for people that make it, but it's not something that I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I'd actually like to see when it comes to people making jewelry that it's not 3D printed and that they handmade it. I find that I like it more. But I've done 3D printing jewelry before, just on the simpler side. You don't see it as much though for a lot of cosplays, because I feel like a lot of cosplayers, when it comes to 3D printing, they do it more on the PLA ABS one rather than a resin printer, and it doesn't look as clean because the resin printer is going to give you a lot more details, and a lot of times for the work that goes into it, you can get the same look by doing it by hand. But I do have an appreciation for those that will do a base of 3D printing. They clean it up and then they make a mold of it, and then we'll do it into like their pour in resin rather than resin printing it, and kind of do it that way. That I really like too. I appreciate that aspect, and those look super clean for the most part. So this is a commission. I am making the Junker Queen's axe and knife only, so I'm not making the full cosplay. And I've already finished the knife, and so this is the last part. I had planned on finishing it over the weekend, but the weather was not my friend, and I partied too much, so yeah. Cleaning this one up. I was wondering on the sword and shield for Link in your video. Wait. Working on the sword and shield for Link in your video helped a lot. Do you have some people around you that help in doing all? Nope, it's just me, and I'm glad the videos helped. Thank you for watching them. Yep, this is my full-time job. The only helper I have is the cat behind me for motivation, and my emotional support kitty that when I'm stressed, I hug her. But yeah, I do everything. I do the 3D printing, 3D modeling, I do the sanding, lots and lots of sanding, the gluing, the painting. So if you see in the video, all the hands, they're my hands. Yeah, even with any of my photos, for the most part, like I'll have a friend take a photo and then I do all the editing, or I'll do self-photography where I'll set up and I have a little clicker button that I'll click and put behind my back or something so you don't see it, or I'll edit it out. But I like more when it comes to cosplay, making rather than filming and doing videos. So I'm a lot of times bad at like sharing tons of videos and stuff. I have tons of videos of me in cosplay. Write it down. Jason, thank you for gifting 5 memberships to the community. I really appreciate it. If you did get one, please tell him thank you. Much love and congratulations to
Write it down.
that got a member. But yeah, I will write it down. Is it gonna scream it again? Maybe?
Write it down.
There we go. Got it. Thank you. What was I saying? Oh, I have tons of videos me in cosplays and stuff, and I'm like so bad when it comes to TikTok because I'm just like, I have these and I'm just like, I can't be bothered to make something like a video. I just
write it down.
I get so uncreative with that. Appreciation for those that constantly are able to make videos and things, and like when it comes to lip syncing, I just can't do that. I just feel so silly, and so I just don't ever do that. But people make amazing videos doing it. Flashback to my college projects. Oh, yeah. You saw some of them. I've only known you forever. Let's see, it's been 20 years that we've known each other now, Jason. 20 years. My gosh. You beat Adam on that. Okay, and then the last little bits. By the way, I always have a piece of Warbler on top of this because the spike's on here, and if I'm working on this side, I don't like having a spike facing my eye. So I just heated up a piece of Warbler and put like a little blob around it. I messed up. Okay, this side is done. So now we gotta do this side. Let's wipe down the surface. You okay, Fluffies? Yeah, you a good girl? She misses all the attention. All her attention. Alright, go over there, and then back to sounding. We'll start on this side. I'm gonna get a sip of water real quick. Thank you for watching. Cheers, guys. Chaz is not the helper, he's just overlord. Yeah, Chaz is the poop master. He's in charge of everyone else. For funsy question, thoughts on a live action Zelda done by in this style? Wait. Like, for me making that, or for them making that? No, I'm not doing a Voltron. You said you do all the sanding, all the paint. Yes. I like, oh, stretch. Okay, I can stretch real quick. Yes, you're so good. I don't mind sanding EVA foam, but I don't like hand sanding. Doing 3D printing sanding. EVA foam sanding, I'm fine with. So, also, all this snow, we were supposed to get so much, and there's like nothing on the ground, and everything's just frozen and dripping. Mm. Oh no, I always turn them down. How did you put up with Tiffany for so long? Yeah. Keep spikes away from eyes. Good advice. Only but the best. What do you think? Are you a good girl? Are you a good girl? Yeah. I love you. Okay. Back to work. Back to work, please. Oh, okay. You gonna leave? I'm not going that way. I'm staying here. What? You can go if you want. It's fine. He's fine. I can pull the chair up for you. Here you go. Bubbles? Here you go. Do you want your chair? I'm just gonna walk around in circles. Oh, there you go. That's Fluff's chair. That's your chair. You can sit there. It's fine. Oh, okay. Ugh, cat hair on me now. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, back to sanding. Okay, so, again, we're doing wet sanding on everything, and just depending on, most of them I'm doing 220 grit, but for some of the rougher spots, I'm doing 120. And because this is, again, going to have EVA foam on top and is going to be covered in plasti dip, I'm not doing a really fine sand, just enough to get it flat and flush. So. And I do have a trash can under me. Okay. Where was I? Oh my gosh, I'm so lost. It is taking wine, chocolate chip cookies, and a cat allergy, putting up 15 pounds from having to finish your meal. Yes! Oh, we've done so much together. So many places. Lots of fun adventures with the tank. Yeah. Not giving up for anything. Same. I have to decide if I'm going to come back to Texas for a muster day or not. Since it's not going to be a full-on event, it's just going to be the battle. Going out for food, burger time here be okay. Bring me back some too, please. Yee. Let's only have a tiny bit. that I do typically work a lot faster, but I do slow down quite a bit when I stream because I am reading chat. And I get distracted quite a bit. Typically when I work, I have a show on, either Twitch or I'm watching some type of anime or show or Twitch stream. And then this is the file cleaner brush. Thoughts on cosplay based from books where there's not a physical adaptation yet? I mean, sure, why not? That's not something I would do, but that's all cool. I like to cosplay from shows and games and things that I like, and I like to bring to life things that aren't in reality. So when it comes to like TV show stuff or like comics, I prefer to do more like the comic book or an action figure version rather than cosplaying so like from The Witcher, doing the actor Witcher version versus the or like Geralt, or doing the Witcher 3 Geralt version. I would rather do the video game version, just because for my personal cosplay, okay, bye. My personal cosplay style, and it's anybody can do whatever style they want, but I like to bring to life things that aren't really there yet, and not bring to life somebody that's already alive, if that makes sense. I like to try to get as close as possible to the original version. But there's nothing wrong with doing any type of way, whether you want to do it versus the TV version or not. It's just my own personal style of cosplay. Okay. And then the top part. So we've got, now you can see kind of both sides of this part, and then we'll smooth that one compared to this side that's completely smooth, and then this side that's not. Well, I was hoping we'd get farther on this, but meh. Too much sanding. Okay, there. Oh. I still get asked all the time that people want me to cosplay from Witcher, and a lot of people don't remember that I did already. Okay, I'm gonna start on this side. Got a little bit we gotta do. Need to put my tape thing back on. I hear a loud noise. I don't know what it is. All my windows are like freezing with ice. It's very weird. Very weird. Multiple moving experiences from apartments to houses to apartments. You have helped me move 1, 2, 3, times now, I think? Maybe? Maybe more? You've helped me out more than my family has, that's for sure. So one problem with me being short and petite is I think I can do a lot more than I can, but I just don't physically have the strength to do everything, so you always got put in charge of a lot of that. Okay, so this side we've got a lot more of the paint falling down. Like I said at the beginning, I don't care that it has a bunch of paint like blobs everywhere because I'm sanding it all away, and for this filler primer, the purpose is to have more than what you want, so that way you can have an even flat surface. Where if I was just doing it just as a final coat and I wasn't gonna sand it, this would definitely be issues. And thank you again, guys, for watching. I hope you are enjoying our stream today. And if you are new to the community, I'd love to have you. So subscribe to the channel here on YouTube. Saying goes, friends will help you move, but real friends will help you move the dead body. I have a few of those, I think. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You've had it quite a bit, too. Mm-hmm. Tiny bit there. Oh, I can barely reach it. Yee. It's like the one spot my stick won't reach. I'd say for after the stream today, I'm gonna go play some Grounded. And what's today? Is today Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday. That means there's a new episode of The Challenge on tonight too, that I'll watch. I just like that show. So gotta go. Good talking with you all. Thanks for stopping by, and have a wonderful rest of your day as well. Good questions. I'm gonna use my nail and smooth that out. Why not? Why not? Okay. Looks like I have a little bit of a gap part there that I gotta get. Hi, Aria, welcome on. How are you? And thank you. Yeah, it's wait. I'm so confused now. No, Cliff. I should never believe what you say. Never. So this is technically neither. So this is pink insulation foam as the base. It has been wrapped, sandwich wrapped with black Warbler, and then I'm trying a new priming method, which is the same type of priming method that I would use for 3D printing, and it's 3 coats of sandable spray paint that I am now on the 3rd one and sanding. So yeah. That's one thing I like to do with my cosplays, is try new techniques on them. I like to learn new things all the time. So. Yeah, this is the Junker Queen axe from Overwatch, and it is a commission, so I'm not making the full cosplay. I'm just making the axe and the knife for this one. You always stated to never trust you. Yes, yes, one day I'll believe it. I'm gonna change out the sandpaper. But yeah, we are now doing wet sanding on all the parts to clean up. Only tried Warbler for the first time recently. It's fun. Yeah, where was the fun thing? I'd say compared to EVA foam though, I prefer EVA foam, but it just depends on the method. I went for Warbler and insulation foam because for this piece and for the thickness that I need of it, it was going to be, one, cheaper, and it was going to be more lightweight because I am going to be shipping this because it's a commission. In terms of, you could 3D print this, but my print bed size would not fit this, so I would have to segment it into sections. And I personally don't like having to do cleanup on prints that come together, especially when you have such a flat surface like this. It would have to be, like, for me, I'd have to, like, cut it in a very weird form, and it just wouldn't look good. So, yeah. And then for EVA foam, I could have stacked a bunch of layers, but it just would have weighed more, and it would have been just, yeah, so. Sandball spray paint sounds like sanding, or like spraying. Yeah, so it is. It is a spray paint that you put on a piece, and it's specific for sanding. A lot of, like, it's kind of what you use for, like, cars if you have a dent, kind of. Like, you wouldn't necessarily use that, but it's kind of the same thing where you spray it and then you would sand to not have that dent anymore. So you put tons of layers on top. It's not the exact same thing, but it's kind of for describing the process. All good. Do you go in live? Oh, I don't typically stream working, like, making a blueprint, but I do have tons of blueprints available on my website if you're interested, tiffanycosplay.com or ! Website. For this one, where is my the cat? She distracted me. So this one, I did make a blueprint. I make all of mine to scale, so this is what it was. Depending on what I'm working on will depend on if it is a blueprint or a pattern. Pattern meaning, like, it's all pieces laid out flat and then you follow the instructions to put it together, where a blueprint is more drafting, which is what I did on this one. So you can use it more as guidelines. And a lot of my props are more blueprints rather than patterns because it can be interpreted in so many different ways to make in different materials and stuff. But, yeah, I don't typically stream the process of me making them just because there's not too much interest. People are interested on how I did it, but that's it. And not, like, watching the whole thing. And sometimes I can make them in, like, an hour. Sometimes it takes a long time. And I make them always in different ways. So sometimes for making a blueprint or a pattern, I'll 3D CAD it. Sometimes I will make it in Adobe Illustrator. Sometimes in Photoshop. Sometimes I'll make it with a 3D pen. I did that for the Vegeta wig. I made my pattern using a 3 pin. Sometimes I'll just use paper and I'll mock it up, or with like fabric I'll drape something. It really just depends. Any cons lined up for this year? So far, the only con that I am guaranteed to be going to is Monsterpalooza, which is in California, and I will be going there with my airbrush sponsor, Createx Colors. I'll be at their table, and I'll have a section for myself, and that is in California the first weekend in June, I believe. But if you want to see me at other ones, request me as a guest at those cons. Okay, let me finish sanding these last pieces. This one, because I was running out of sandpaper, doesn't quite go to the edge, so I'll have to be kind of iffy with these. But yeah, I'm hoping to do some more, but I am also busy doing my own thing. I want to get back into making my own stuff again and not working on other people's projects as much this year. So, Mustard, yeah, I'm not sure yet with Mustard Day, just because they're not doing their full show, and I'm not driving back. I'm not gonna do that drive. It was like 13 hours non-stop. I'm not doing that drive. So I'll have to kind of see if I want to fly, and then I gotta figure out if I'm landing, people have to pick me up, and then if I'm gonna see people, and I gotta figure that out. That's still down the road though, I believe. I did get Jeff's email about it though. Okay. Gotta go, have a joyous day. Thanks for stopping by, Real, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Good luck with your commission as well. Okay. And then this one, so this one has a really bad blob right here that we gotta clean up. Oh no, don't apologize. Yeah. I'm super curious about how other people make work. Last question. I'm gonna assume your question is how do you make your props disassemble? Is that correct? Again, that also just depends on the prop. For this one specifically, so, because for me, I always travel with my props and my everything, and so it just depends on the piece, how I disassemble it, because they have to fit in a suitcase. And for this one, I'm actually shipping it because it's a commission, but it splits here. So this is the head, and there's also inside a threaded system, which is CPVC pipe, their specific threaded piece. And this part, which is PVC, the CPVC pipe is going to insert in here, and then there's another CPVC that fits at the bottom. But this is the threaded piece, which also matches the threaded piece there. And then it just screws together. And so that's how the bottom part will attach. I use this most of the time for a lot of my connections just because I prefer metal threads versus plastic, especially with props that are heavy, because it has a better and longer possibility of it not breaking them. You can also use where you have, I don't have the correct sizes here, but 2 pieces of pipe, one that's slightly bigger than the other, and you can have it where they sit inside of each other. A lot of times if it's a little loose, you can just add some 2mm EVA foam and connect that way. It works, but with heavy pieces, your sturdiness of the piece might not necessarily stay together as well. So it's just something you gotta be aware of. Oh, we were doing this side. Excuse me, I need water. You can also do, to help with that, you can do magnets. Same thing is, it just depends on the strength of your magnet. If the magnet is a very cheap small magnet, it may help, but a lot of times they'll come apart still. So this way with the threaded system, I find that to be the best result for props that may weigh more, or just to make sure that they're together. And you don't, with having two, like a male and female pipe that come together, you over time will have it, without having a threaded system, become smaller on one side. So yeah. Okay, all good. Yeah, and you can ask more questions. You're all good. You're not limited to like one or two. No, this is, if you have questions on what I'm working on or any other cosplay stuff, feel free. Otherwise, we just talk about whatever at the time. But yeah, I hope that helped. Yeah, we've got little spots over here, especially here. Yeah, I've done a few tutorials where I go over specifically the parts disassembling. What's one of the pieces I made recently? I like don't have any of my props inside, so I don't really have them off the top of my head. Man, I really can't think of. Oh, you can look at my all of my Jinx weapons, so like Fishbone or the minigun, all of those disassemble to fit in a suitcase. So like Fishbone, which is the shark, the head comes apart from the body, and that's just using CPVC pipes and hole method because it's so lightweight, it was fine to sit together. That would be a good video to watch. Oh, nice. Where'd y'all go, Jason? Yeah. Don't pay attention to Clip. He's like the Joker here on our stream. Okay, almost got it. I get a little bit more here that I gotta sand on it. I'll be happy with the I'm done, Sandy. I'm also excited. I have yet to. So I've used my airbrush booth or my spray booth room that I made here now, but I have yet to test out actually painting in it with airbrush paint. So I've done like Classy Dip and this sandable primer, but I haven't done airbrush painting in there yet. So I'm excited to finally get back into that and see, because I'm gonna have to figure out with the temperature a lot too. So yeah. What? Okay, back to this. Yeah, we recently got a whole bunch of new paint from my sponsor Fadex Colors that I'm gonna try out. Sorry. Sorry, that was loud. So we'll have to cut out a bunch of EVA foam circles to make samples out of again. Alright. Nice and smooth. Cool. Another top of that. Writing all down. Now you're working on form, and got the plug-in pipe problem because you chose the second option. You said small and oh, okay. Yeah. Hard time creating the internal connection because I have an empty PVC pipe. Same size on both sides. So you're using PVC and not CPVC. What you can do, so I don't know what size PVC you're using. If it is the smallest one, you're gonna have a little bit of issues, like the smallest one being that thick, but let me get one from the closet. I use CPVC. I prefer it more than PVC, but it can do the same thing. So here's two different sizes. So you're talking about this method where it goes through. If it is loose, like that, making sure I can, it's too long of sticks. If it is loose like this, just get some of the 2mm EVA foam. And on the smaller piece, which is going to be the male that inserts into your larger piece, wrap it in 2mm foam, and then you can lightly sand it until it is tight to fit in. If your piece is both the same size, as long as it's not the smallest piece, if it's like the second largest or anything larger, go back to the store and buy one size down. What you can do if you cut it here is you can take this, cut a smaller piece that's like this size, glue half of it in one side, and then this piece then will stick out, and you can do the same method where it sticks into the other one, if that makes sense. 2mm, not 20. Yeah. Yeah. that should hopefully solve your problem. Yep. Oh. And yes. Yeah, I do the same method in the making of the Amidron blade from Monster Hunter, where I have two pieces that are the same size, and then I have a smaller piece inside of it. So you can watch that tutorial as well. But that is where I am going to end for the day. The sanding took a lot longer than I thought it was going to do, so apologies for that. Also, I'm kind of glad that I didn't open my window because it is now officially frozen from all of the ice and everything, so I couldn't glue anything anyway. So yeah, good, glad to help. Yeah, come join more of our streams. We will be streaming next week, either Tuesday or Wednesday. I haven't quite figured out what I'm actually going to stream, like which day, but it'll be at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Best place to get alerted is on the open Discord, !Discord. If you are new to the community, would love to have you here on YouTube, so press the subscribe button. It is free, as well as don't forget to like the video while it is live. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. For those that were here on TikTok and on Instagram, thank you for watching. I'm going to be leaving. All of my tutorials are on YouTube. The live stream was on YouTube, so go over there, you get a better view, and I read chat there. So yeah, bye. But for y'all here on YouTube, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day and weekends. When you do exclamation point end, We see. If somebody beats it to me. Boop. Boop. There we go. But yeah, I don't know if we'll be working on this. I hope we're not working on this next week, just because I need to have this done by then. And so we'll probably be starting on our Genshin cosplay, or we'll be working on our Lilith cosplay. So yeah, I hope to see you then and have a wonderful one. Oh, also, thank you to Daniel for the remember. Daniel also for the 250 Mexican dollars, Mexican pesos, I have no idea how you say it. Caspian for the remember, Real for the $10, and Jason for gifting 5 members to the community. Don't forget to thank him if you received one, and have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Much love, guys. Bye-bye.